That belongs in a museum.
List though, so there is a second one waiting in the wings, ready to go at some point.
Yeah, and the swashbuckler train is about to begin. We saw a game earlier where Amnesiac, I think, ended up with a choice of 7 warrior cards over the course of the game. Only ended up playing 3 of them because 4 were just really terrible choices. But that's some of the power of this deck if it can really get those hucksters and swashbucklers rolling. And speaking of power, he can just go Antonidas, Backstab, Coin, Firebloom, Toxin next turn.
Remember when we said we've cast some games where the rogue has struggled to just find that last bit of damage?
Yeah.
He just found like a nuke's worth of damage here in this Antonidas pull. This is kind of insane as long as DrJ can actually get him into a position to be able to have that effect and actually end the game.
So Tare looking like he's favoring Nova Ice Block this turn over the Blizzard, which would be almost an effective board sweep. He has a Dirty Rat Nova as well as a possibility, but this is going to play right into DrJ's hands because this gives him the backstab target that he wouldn't have had any other way.
This is kind of huge. He even got the Dalaran Aspirant.
Good.
Going for.
Nice.
I'm not an arena player.
No. No, I know.
But that is actually
draft.
Okay. I remember when me and Rob drafted you a deck. That was hilarious. But yeah, that's going to open even more doors because of this additional spell damage that actually accumulates as you use your hero power as well. So just in case you don't know what Dalaran Aspirant does, and this is the combo, and that rogue is holding a lot of damage.
He picked up Shadow Step this turn, another 0 mana spell that he can combine with the Antonidas. That is just absurd. Choosing which target he wants to go for. He's going to go for the Swashbuckler, can cycle it back again now immediately into another mage card and get Forbidden Flame.
Oh,
Freezing Potion even, but hey, a nice juicy Flame Waker will do the job just fine.
I suppose you can settle for a Flame Waker in this scenario. And now, all the math goes out the window. For Tare, he has to suddenly plus up 4 additional fireballs into this game that he wasn't expecting.
Yeah, I mean, you say the maths goes out the window, but there's pretty serious maths going on here because 4 fireballs makes 24, and that is a nice number for DrJ right now.
Rogue maths.
Yeah, there you go. Tare is sitting on the Reno, but DrJ has the ability here to try and just hover him at a very awkward life total, although now the Ice Block is in play, Tare has that infinite protection to be able to go all the way down to 1 otherwise. I'm not sure how well that's going to work out for him, although the Solia now being combined with the Blizzard is definitely a really big deal, but he knows this 5/5 doesn't stick to the board. This 5/5 at best soaks a Fireball if DrJ wants it to. The power is completely in his hands here.
Yeah, it might even hit the point where he can actually just peel it off with the pings from the Flame Waker, for example, if he wants to get more aggressive, or just force the Solia to trade anyway and just continue with the damage, because holding a Fireball might actually end up worth more damage than that's available anyway, and Flame Strike, okay. That's not going to be too bad. It could help actually just clear up the Reno very, very cleanly without having to expend one of those fireballs next turn.
Yeah, this is lined up nicely for him though with the Toxin. Got the guaranteed proc on the block after fireballing down the 5/5, and I think he definitely does want to remove that 5/5. I don't see any world where he wants to leave it up because he knows this game is now entirely linear. There's one card that stops him from winning, it's Reno. If Reno comes down, then he just needs to make sure he has as big a board as possible to counter it, and that means taking care of the 5/5.
Yeah, this is definitely a scary board. Go for the Soul Cast for the Reno. Put another Reno Jackson into the deck, and hopefully for Tare here, probably wants to draw it very soon, knowing that he's going to be taking a few fireballs worth of damage in the very, very near future.
So now still 12 damage, 16 damage with the 2 Fireballs and Eviscerate now paired together. He actually has 1 additional spell damage from that Dalaran Aspirant that you mentioned that we need to keep track of over the course of this game. So still +1 spell damage at the moment, meaning that 16 damage in hand turns into 19 damage from hand if that Aspirant is left alive.
Yeah, there's another dagger as well, so that's an additional one.
Yep, 22. 22 from hand.
That's scary. This is why rogues aren't normally allowed fireballs, guys. This is what happens. Ludicrous amounts of damage, and Tare doesn't really have a great ability to deal with this. Has drawn the Ice Barrier, which can help a little bit, you'd think, but he does know there's at least 2 fireballs hanging around, so he can very quickly add up the mass and decide what he needs to do here. But all the damage he's expending on these minions are actually quite difficult to kill. See the respect for the aspirant there?
Yeah.
Means that, well, Dr. J is just on 30 health. Like, how is he actually going to end this game? Because Dr. J's just got so much power left in the deck.
Yeah, the backstab is a huge pickup as well. He did fireball the aspirant, so all the spell damage has gone off the board. That's 12 damage from the fireballs. Each spell essentially still has +2 spell damage because of the Flame Waker effect. And that means that he can just push through this ice barrier without having to activate it, deal the damage entirely in spells and unique minion effects, and that 8 health goes completely to waste from Frozen. That game entirely hinged on that.